Hey friends, hello! I come bearing some good news here. If you guys have been stuck in the lower ranks or you've been deranking a bit and you're feeling kind of bad, I was browsing through the Reddits as you do sometimes, and I came across this post that was talking about how the rank distribution has shifted. So previously, if you haven't checked before, as I've been playing, I used to check the rank distribution because I was curious, what is the most common rank that a player was at? And what it used to look like was a pretty big bell curve, honestly. It seemed like primarily players were mostly in gold and platinum, and below that, it was very uncommon that players are actually below that. But now it seems to have shifted, at least according to this site, which is the Valking.gg rank distribution, where it lists most players in Iron. Primarily, it goes from Iron all the way down, and as you climb, this is pretty common in most games. As you get to Radiant, the rank distribution becomes a lot less. It's like 0.3% in this case. Now, I actually don't know how accurate these statistics are. This is coming from valking.gg, but I do think that it kind of poses the question if the rank distribution has actually changed from the last time that I've seen it, because it's actually interesting to me that a majority of the community might be in gold as opposed to lower ranks, because in most games that I've played, the majority of the community does actually happen to be in iron, bronze, silver. This actually does look like what it looks like in most games to me, and it actually does kind of pose the question of, if this is accurate, maybe some of those claims that people have been making of like they're struggling in this season, or they feel like they're deranking, they feel like it's harder to climb, they feel like everybody just randomly got insane in the game. Maybe those feelings that you have of actually struggling to climbing does actually hold some strength to it. If a few months ago the majority of the community was in gold, then that means that now that the majority of the community is in iron, bronze, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to climb. And something that's mentioned in this thread that I actually see is a lot of the issue with this might actually be the smurfing issue that Valorant has right now. Now that they've tightened the ranks this season, so you have to be within a certain division to play with your friends, you need to be within 3, which is pretty freaking close. There's going to be a lot more smurfs around. There's going to be a lot more people who want to play with their friends, but they can only play with them if they're on a smurf account, so they have to log on to their smurf, who's worlds lower than their actual main. And when you're playing against these smurfs more often than not, it's actually going to be a harder game for you, more likely for you to lose. And when you lose, it's going to result in you deranking. This is the argument I've heard. I actually don't know if this checks out, but it does kind of make sense in theory. Realistically speaking, I feel like there would be a chance that you get the smurf on your team so that you would actually rank up. I don't actually know the odds are on that. I feel like it would have to be like a 50-50, or about so anyway. Kind of connecting this to another post that was on the Reddit that somebody was talking about. Why is everyone in plat now a fucking machine? And I kind of know this feel, and anybody who's chilling in any of these ranks probably knows it too. What is up with everybody just being insane at this game? I'm wondering, these iron, bronze players, some of them are actually like robots, but every now and then when you're going against one of these players, they just feel insane. And it's kind of crazy to me that, like, when I queue into a deathmatch, I don't know if deathmatch actually has an MMR system, but what is up with the fact that I never see just bots walking around in deathmatch? It feels like every single one of my deathmatch games, everyone's pretty decent at the game, and I'm not actually sure if they equate MMR into it at all, but I feel like if there was no MMR in like a casual game mode like deathmatch, you'd think you'd be running into these people who have no idea what they're doing. They're walking around aiming at the ground all the time, like they can't land a single shot. To answer this question, why is everyone in plat a machine? The reason for that, it basically is that there's a lot more skills that it takes to be diamond than just good aim. There's a lot of players in plat who just have really good aim. There's a lot of players in gold who have pretty decent aim. But when you start to equate things like playing with your team or IGLing or game sense, then it starts to become a little bit more clear of who belongs at a higher rank and who doesn't. Anyone can frag out against players who don't know what they're doing. The real test is going to be fragging out against players who actually have a very good understanding of the game. They know how to play certain situations. They know how to trade their teammates. They know it's going to be a lot harder to climb when you're getting 2v1'd every single time you swing an aggressive angle. I get asked all the time on stream. People are like, King, what should I do to get out of gold and get into platinum? And I don't think there's like a perfect answer of something that every single gold player needs to work on to improve. Anything below gold, I always just tell players, work on your aim, where like to make sure you get an aim training routine, make sure you practice every day, make sure you're putting in the work so you're not missing all the easy shots. But as you start to get higher in rank, once you get to like plat and diamond, it feels more about team play and more about playing with your teammates and actually swinging angles with them and trading them, making intelligent decisions, not just full peeking everything. I think this game is going to be so interesting when I compare it to how season 1 of League looked, where it was just a mess, dude. The first season of League of Legends, it felt like nobody knew how to play. Going back and watching some of the pro games, they're running the weirdest comps. Like, the meta is just all a mess compared to today, or what it's been like for the past like couple of years, where it feels like there's a pretty refined meta. You do the AD carry, you have the support, you have the mid laner, you have a bruiser in top lane, and you have a jungler. I'm really interested to see what this game looks like a couple years down the road, because everyone already feels like they're a ridiculous shot in the game. Give it another year or two, and I can't wait to see what we have. It could look the exact same, and everyone could just be like an okay shot. But what I'm expecting to see is something similar to what you saw in Fortnite, how everyone just had like these crazy building exercises that they did, and they'd be going all over the place. You shoot at a guy once, and he builds a freaking tower. Unfortunately, I don't know if a game like Valorant gets as complex as that. Valorant is actually rather basic at the core. There's not a lot of intense mechanics within the game. They're just very difficult mechanics to perform. Put your crosshair on the guy's head is fairly simple, but understanding how that guy is going to move so you can react to it, and doing this all in advance, that's going to be a lot more difficult. Or understanding how to play with your team and what sorts of utility and how the enemy is going to react to those uses of utility. I guess on a similar note, I'm interested to see if this rank distribution is going to change over the years. With all that said, though, I guess I just mostly hope that I get better at this game, dude. I don't want to keep sucking at this game. It's so stressful, dude. You have to be so precise, and then you play it all the time, and you still suck. But yeah, basically, I just wanted to show everybody this graph just to tell you, if you've been deranking, if you've been feeling like this is a hard season, I'm not 100% sure if these statistics are accurate, but maybe this is the validation that you need. Knowing that there's potential that the rank distribution has definitely tilted towards the bronze-silver side might give you more comfort than just thinking, hey, maybe I just suck at this game. I'm always the one to tell people to look at your mistakes and accept them for what they are so that you can improve. But every now and then, it is nice just to have something else to blame. Anyway, though, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Check us out on Twitch, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.